Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum brothers and sisters. If you're watching this video and it's Salah time, please pause it and go pray and come back when you're done. Please check out the description section of this video to support the channel. Recently I came across quite a few videos of travel bloggers, both Muslim and non-Muslim, visiting Afghanistan. And let's be completely honest, even hearing words like Afghanistan or the Taliban automatically sets off preconceived prejudices and brings up negative associations in all of our heads because of how the media have instilled them into our minds over the last few decades to justify the invasion and destruction of that country at the hands of the USA. And the anti-Muslim mob do love their catchphrase telling Muslim content creators to leave the West and go live in Afghanistan. So I'm going to explore the supposed oppression of Muslim women under Taliban rule from two perspectives. Firstly, from the perspective of a female reporter speaking to Muslim sisters who live in Afghanistan, and secondly from the perspective of a non-Muslim British female travel vlogger who's visiting there. Let's roll the first clip to hear what Afghani Muslim sisters have to say.
Tafsir has taken on the Taliban directly on Afghan TV.
Are you afraid at all, though, about speaking out?
No, I'm not afraid. Why we should be afraid? We're talking about something right.
But the Taliban see it as a time when Afghanistan was losing its core Islamic values. And now that they're back in charge, they say they're restoring Islamic order and governing in accordance with Islamic law, at least their interpretation of it. And that position does have support, including from women.
100% ما قبول میکنیم که غرب نشینان فعلا دست از اینا در افغانستان کوتاه شد، از بین رفت. جامعه اصلاح پذیر است، اصلاح میشه. دوره جمهوریت امتیاز برای خانم ها زیادتر قائل بودن.
But that idea that under the old government, women were somehow not acting in accordance with Islam, well, a lot of Afghans reject that, especially when it comes to what women wear.
Have you changed the way you dress?
No, before I was like this because I am Afghan woman, I am Muslim woman. Why I should change? Before I am like this, now I am also like this. I like my hijab, I like my Afghan culture.
These girls are still managing to study a little in this private institute. Their tuition is paid for by a charity. They're learning web design and coding for 4 hours a week. It's no substitute for high school, but it's something.
I was used to go out with my friends alone without no guy, no one, my brother or my father. But now I can't. It's a big change for me. So my dream, my idea was to be someone to work and to show that no, Afghan girls are capable of doing a lot of things. They can take risks. They can do a lot of challenging things like other girls around the world. Like they have talents, they have great abilities. They can help people, they can be independent. And I still have hope that maybe one day I will be able to.
So I tried my best to choose the least biased media outlet I could and decided on Al Jazeera since it has been banned in Israel, as that always ticks a box of trustworthiness because if the Zionists are censoring you, you must be doing something right. From the clip you saw, there was a different mix of sisters there, from niqabis to feminists to more conservative women to girls studying privately learning how to code. But what they all had in common was that they were quite articulate, intelligent, and they all observed the headscarf, which was nice to see. I didn't agree with all the sisters in the clip I showed you, but what it did show was women are quite opinionated over there, and that is even more evident if you look at online footage of Afghan women protesting in the streets for the rights to work and to an education, with plenty of men joining them during these protests. Ignorant anti-Muslim propagandists would have you believe that all the sisters in Afghanistan are downtrodden shells of their former selves, that are a psychological mess due to being oppressed by men and the religion of Islam, which is not the case. In fact, Islamically, women are permitted to get an education and are allowed to work. So the lack of these opportunities for women in Afghanistan are actually going against Islam. I understand Afghanistan is trying to implement Sharia law and are in the midst of a rebuilding process after decades of an American invasion that devastated and ravaged the country, but they need to accommodate facilities for women and girls also. Again, I don't see women being harmed there, but they are being held back. And again, Islam does allow women to have the option to work and to gain an education. And I'll go into specific verses in the Qur'an and narrations of the hadiths detailing this later on in the video. I must also be clear that the great nation of Afghanistan is an independent country, and the Afghans are proud people with a beautiful culture. However, they do not represent the religion of Islam as a whole. No Muslim country or culture does, despite what the Islamophobes would have you believe. Let's roll the next clip of a British travel blogger named Carrie visiting Afghanistan as a lone woman and see things through her eyes.
Everyone's so friendly. They're just checking that I'm okay.
All people coming for passenger of coming to
meet everybody. Yes. Everybody's been very friendly.
Yes.
So everybody in the airport, they're so nice. Salam, salam. It's lovely to meet you.
Welcome to Afghanistan.
Thank you so much.
I was a bit nervous. I always get nervous in a country I don't know, with all the documents, the visas, the registration forms. But I have to say, everybody here was so friendly. I couldn't even fill out half the form and they sorted it out for me. Everybody made it easy. I couldn't find my luggage tag. They sorted it out. Incredibly helpful and incredibly smiley. So my first experience has been really lovely. Oh, look at this. Hello. Oh, this is nice, isn't it? My first impression is that I am quite surprised, and I don't know why, but that's because I didn't really know what to expect. But this is really, really lovely. Let's go. Ah, wow. Everyone's saying hello. It's really nice. Really welcoming, thank you. So you said this is the new city? Yeah. You like fancy lights? Lots of pretty lights. Everyone's coming out for their food. Balloons, candy floss, markets. That looks like a cake shop. So this is the new part of the city, and it does look pretty shiny. Oh look, Clark's, hilarious. Clark's shoe shop. Kids never like going to Clark's. I wonder if they're the same here. Wow, look at this. This place is massive. Wow, what's this one? What flavour is that? Orange? Lemon? That's the lemon.
Apple.
Apple. Apple. What's the pink one?
I think it is mixed.
It looks creamy. That looks amazing.
Yeah.
Ask Zia if he'll try it. What is it? There you go.
It is pineapple and banana.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, very pink. Yours looks like orange?
Yeah, orange.
Orange, and mine is?
Lemonade.
This is, wow. Everything that you want is here. Awesome.
From that clip you saw this lady having an enjoyable time in Afghanistan. She repeatedly commented about how friendly it was and how well she was treated. She freely mixed with her male tour guides and was out during the evening with no signs of danger. And the Afghan men were very polite, humble, simple and even shy at times, very far from the monsters the Western media portrays them as. Honestly, Afghanistan looked beautiful, and from this lady's experience it makes me want to visit there. It actually looks like a really nice place for a vacation. Typically this also further exposes the small-mindedness of certain prejudiced people who have never visited there before, but label it as some sort of evil place just because it is a Muslim country, painting the natives as savages despite knowing their nation was invaded and destroyed under false pretenses for financial gain. The fact is, life is better for women in Afghanistan under the Taliban than it was when America was occupying them for the last few decades. However, there is definitely work to be done in regards to providing women with more facilities in terms of education and work. Let's pray things get better. Inshallah, they give women the opportunities that other Muslim nations do, while still being in line with the Sharia. Let's take a look at the last clip of Taliban leaders attending some sort of Afghan women's trade fair. Okay, so apart from the free mixing, which is haram, this was very respectful and quite positive in regards to women having opportunities to work and not being as restricted. As I previously stated, in Islam, women are permitted to work and have the right to an education. In fact, Islam is the only religion that gives women the right to an education, property rights, the right of inheritance, and freedom of marriage and divorce. Similar rights were not available to women in Europe for many centuries after the advent of Islam. In regards to work, it is permissible for women to work outside the home, as long as the regulations set by the Islamic Sharia are observed. A woman should wear a hijab and cover herself with loose clothing. A woman should not be a source of temptation while going out to work, nor should she mingle with men lawful for her to marry. A woman should be engaged in types of work that suit her psychological nature, and should get the consent of her father or husband to work outside the home. A woman should make sure that her work does not result in any violation of the rights of her husband or children if she is married. When it comes to a Muslim woman's rights to an education, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The seeking of knowledge is obligatory for every Muslim." At no point did he make any reference to gender. He said that it was obligatory upon every Muslim regardless of gender. Hence, it is permissible for a woman to go to university and get a higher education. However, there are conditions in place. If a girl wants to study, she should strive to join a school where there is no free mixing with men. She should observe the hijab and cover up, and she should not make a display of herself to attract the attention of the opposite gender. The Holy Qur'an is unique amongst all religious scriptures, as it repeatedly addresses both men and women in its verses. It states, "Who does good works, whether male or female, and is a believer shall enter heaven." Believing men and believing women, and obedient men and obedient women, and truthful men and truthful women, and men steadfast in their faith and steadfast women, and men who are humble and women who are humble, and men who give charity and women who give charity, and men who fast and women who fast, and men who guard their chastity and women who guard their chastity, and men who remember Allah much and women who remember Him. Allah has prepared for all of them forgiveness and a great reward. Thank you for watching. Make sure to join my free Telegram group via the link in the description, where we as Muslims can speak freely and without censorship about issues like this, and in order to guide and support each other in our deen. And remember to like, subscribe and become a channel member for access to exclusive content. Until next time, inshallah, Jazakallah khair.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah